Today on Monkey Life. Fears for chimp Gypsy as he undergoes a series of tests following a bout of poor health.
Spleen that looks grossly abnormal to me, and I would worry about some sort of growth or changes there.
Dodger the Capuchin meets some new ladies and is an instant hit.
Oh, you got 3 of them.
And sunflower stalks prove an electrifying experience for alpha male Bart. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
I'm shocked. This animal is living in fear of its life at all times.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 25 different species. Over the last few weeks, the primate care team have become increasingly concerned about one of the chimps at the bachelor group. Gypsy is 27, relatively young for a chimp, and generally happy, although he has had a medical condition that the team are aware of. Recently, however, he's developed a persistent cough, causing him to be out of breath after activity. The team have called in wildlife vet Nick Masters to check him over under anaesthetic, in the hope of ruling out anything serious.
So he's new to me. Saffron showed me some photos of how he gets these little, what we call sort of petechial hemorrhages, sort of on his tongue and his lips sometimes where he bleeds. Been tested for COVID already, but we'll repeat that actually, I think is the plan, because we'll be able to take swabs really, carefully, scrupulously this way with Gypsy asleep. Chest x-rays, general MOT, bloods, etc.
Gypsy was hand-reared at a zoo in Israel and arrived at Monkey World in 1996 along with 3 other young chimps who'd been smuggled from the wild: Hananya, Tico and Shamak. They grew up in the nursery before moving to what was Rodney's group and is now Hananya's. When Gypsy became disruptive, he was moved to the bachelors, where he's now settled and well-liked. The team don't want to put Gypsy under for too long and have opted to use mobile investigative equipment, which can be set up in one of the bedrooms at the bachelor house.
We've got portable x-ray kit that we'll take down there, so that means we can do the anaesthesia just as safely. It's a little bit more clunky, but we can take the x-rays down there rather than use the machine that's set up here. So it's safer. We don't need to extend the anaesthesia for as long because we don't have the journey time to get here and back again. We're minimising risk to people. And by reducing the anaesthetic time, we're minimising risk to the animal as well. So lots of good reasons to do it there.
Whenever possible, the team prefer to administer anaesthetic by hand injection. But today, Gypsy is not playing ball. Despite having a pre-med to make him drowsy, the chimp isn't letting Sean anywhere near him.
As soon as I got the needle in my pouch, he just shot straight up and he's too awake now.
Not going to happen.
I
OK.
don't think we're gonna hand him
Can I have a
anything.
look at where he is so I can see
Yeah,
in terms of darting how hard it's going to be?
They're going to have to resort to Plan B, using a dart, which is more stressful for all concerned.
We're not going to be able to hand inject him, so I'm just going to put what was in this syringe to be hand injected into a dart instead. Anyone coming with me, or I'm going on my own? Oh, doesn't bother me either way. Come and make sure I've got the right chimp.
You're all right.
Darting an agitated chimp is never easy, and as Nick isn't a regular face for Gypsy, it's even more tricky. A high level of expertise is required to get it right. Sean and Jeremy distract him while Nick takes the shot. The anaesthetic dart hits the spot first time. It should take effect within minutes.
And we know it's gone off properly because The cuffs come all the way back, so it's been in his muscle, he's got the drug, and he's destroyed my needle. It's a brief period of stress for an important procedure, that's how I see it.
While Nick prepares the rest of his portable equipment, the team keep an eye on Gypsy.
His eyes are still open, but he's flat out. Yeah.
Okay, he's flat down.
Is he? Great.
The anaesthetic is doing its job, and the team can crack on with theirs.
Ready?
Gypsy is moved into a bedroom that's been converted into a temporary examination room. It's a tight squeeze, and the vet team will need to work quickly to try to discover the cause of Gypsy's problems. The days are getting shorter, and winter is on its way. But at Bart's enclosure, the primate care team are doing their best to overcome the dreary weather and brighten up the chimp's day. More than 250 sunflowers have been harvested from a local farm, and many of them are being distributed around the enclosure. With only 16 members in Bart's troop, they're going to have a field day. Some of the chimps have already cottoned on and are watching from the tunnels. They've never had whole sunflowers before, so the crop should create plenty of interest and keep them occupied throughout the day. The excited group are let out, giving lots of happy, excited vocalizations as they take it all in. But first, breakfast. The care team have put out plenty of apples too. Athena has gathered so many she's struggling to keep hold of them. A hopefully chimp-proof camera has been installed to capture the chimp's reactions to the sunflowers. Leader Bart spots it and tests it out. Pretty chimp-proof then. It survives a good thumping. Once they've had their fill of apples, attention turns to the sunflowers. One of the park's original chimps, Buster, is the first to grab a handful. Bixer hedges her bets, chomping on the apples, having already secured a sunflower stalk. She's the oldest chimp at the park, and although she's slipped down the rankings, she's still formidable. One of the youngest chimps is Topperish. She arrived 4 years ago from the black market trade, via a zoo in Turkey, and is now fully integrated, and one of Bart's favourite ladies. She gives the sunflowers a once-over, not sure what to make of them. Many of the others are less daunted and are busy tucking in. The chimps often have sunflower seeds as part of their diet, but they're used to foraging for them in scatter feeds or finding them hidden inside bottles and other containers. They've never come across whole sunflower heads containing hundreds of seeds which need to be picked out. Chatter demonstrates how it's done, plucking out the seeds with her lips and teeth. In the wild, food sources often don't look appetizing and require a lot of work for a small reward. The seeds are full of minerals and nutrients, which can help lower blood pressure and cholesterol. The whole group have come together to enjoy this fiddly but high-calorie snack. They're not the only ones benefiting from the bounty of sunflowers. Brian's small troop are also tucking in. As are the orangutans at Twan's, although little Hujan is more interested in playing with a stalk. Back at Bart's, some of the troop have decided to finish their breakfast in the warmth of the indoor bedrooms. 2 large stalks clutched in his mouth, Bart decides to join them. The stalk clips the electric fence, giving him a harmless but unexpected jolt. Cindy investigates what all the fuss is about, but taking no chances and still hanging on to his stalks, Bart uses another, wider entrance to go indoors. Over the last few years, the park has been inundated with small monkeys in need of rescue and rehoming. The majority of the small primates Alison and the team have to deal with are marmosets, victims of the UK pet trade. But just over a month ago, Alison travelled to Kent to pick up Dodger, a 27-year-old male capuchin kept as a pet and desperate for companionship of his own kind. Following a health check, Dodger moved in with Gizmo and then met 3 of his 5 ladies, coping well with the introductions. He's yet to meet the final 2 girls, Ginger and Sophia, but today's the day.
The plan really is just to open all of the doors. So the 5 that we've already got together, will give them the outside enclosure, so they'll all be together. And the 2 females will just be inside, and yeah, we'll just really open the remaining slides. They'll have all of their inside and outside space. So that's a nice big loop, and everybody can go in and out as they please, and hopefully it'll make it a little bit more relaxed. And they've just got a bit more space to get away from each other if they feel a little bit tense.
Dodger has adapted amazingly well to life at the park, despite spending a lot of time living on his own as a pet at his previous home.
Really, he's done absolutely fabulously, which is why we've been able to actually move the introductions on faster than we normally would, which just goes to show that really that process depends entirely on the individual and how they react to that new scenario that they're presented with. And Dodger's been so good. He couldn't have done any better. He's been really relaxed. If anybody's had a bit of a squabble within the group, then he hasn't really batted an eyelid. He just lets them get on with it. He enjoys a groom and a play, which the females are really enjoying doing that with him too. So yeah, everybody seems really happy so far. Okay, you can let them out through bedroom 2.
The excited group are impatient, waiting for the slides to open.
Get me out of here!
Female capuchins don't always love a new male, but Dodger is an immediate hit. The girls are smitten, giving him lots of attention. The other male in the group, Gizmo, doesn't always display the social skills needed to communicate with the females. When he does try, it sometimes causes a bit of friction. New boy on the block, Dodger, has set the girls' pulses racing, and they're following him everywhere.
Oh, you got 3 of them.
But Dodger has other priorities. It's food first for the new male, and he isn't keen on feeding time being interrupted by a host of admirers.
2 new girls, Ginger and Sophia, just went straight for Dodger. Lots of flirting, please give me lots of attention. And he was really good. He would just sort of like move around at his own pace. He's okay. He seemed a little bit overwhelmed at the beginning because he had 3 girls following him, which is quite a lot.
Dodger's lack of interest dissuades 2 of his potential suitors, but one isn't giving up.
Now it's just Ginger, he's okay, and actually he's reciprocating that flirting behaviour, so I suspect we might see some mating later. But yeah, it's obviously still very new and exciting for everybody, so give it like an hour or so and they should start to settle down a bit.
The final introductions to get the group all back together couldn't have gone better for the primate care team. Or Dodger. He's met everyone, and the now 6-strong group seem happy and content. His new life, with new friends, has begun. It's an exciting day for Enzo's group of woolly monkeys. Their new house is almost ready for them to move into after months of planning and building work. The primate care team are just putting the finishing touches to it, adding fresh browse and feeders to make the troop feel right at home.
We're very excited that they're getting this house, this nice new big house, just in time for winter. This extra space and room will dissolve some of the tensions that we've seen recently between some individuals in the group, and yeah, we're just hoping it'll just make life a lot more pleasant for them.
Their new residence is a wonderful upgrade from their previous home. The additional space will give the 7 monkeys in the troop the option to spend time together or enjoy periods alone, easing any stress or conflict.
Good boy, Enzo. Come on, guys.
With everything set to go, the team begin to open the slides connecting the network of tunnels to their new home. Leader Enzo is first in, performing his role perfectly, investigating and checking everything is safe for his family. Pakaya is close behind. She's an extremely confident female, and very little phases her. She's so excited to check everything out, she's left 13-month-old daughter Esmeralda behind in the bedrooms. Despite all the excited trills and calls coming from inside, Isla, Oriana and Enya still hang back outside in the caged enclosure.
Enya! Here! You coming in?
With encouragement from the primate care team, they move cautiously through the tunnels towards the new house.
There's Isla. Good girl.
It's not long before everyone is in the new large playroom, exploring and chattering away happily.
They've all had a good explore, and what we were really hoping to see is Isla coming in and using this space with the rest of the guys. So she's been in the playroom with all of them, vocalising, eating some nice tasty snacks. So yeah, considering it's a brand new space, which can be quite intimidating, a bit daunting for them, they've all come in and I think they seem pretty happy with it. Yeah, perfect.
Esme and her big sister Enya are thoroughly enjoying the large space, playing excitedly together. In fact, there's lots of joyful noise from the whole troop.
What a fantastic noise. It's all sort of happy noises and trills and everybody making contact calls. It's really beautiful. They are such gorgeous primates. And, you know, when you get the enclosures and houses right, it just shows that they are able to show off their beauty even more. How they call, how they communicate with each other, how they move about the enclosure. It's just fantastic and really nice to see. It's good for their health. It allows people to see them at their best. So fingers crossed for a long and happy future.
The Woolies are making the most of the new space, coming and going as they please. It's been a hugely successful start to life in their new home. In one of the bedrooms at the Chimp Pavilions, wildlife vet Nick Masters is about to give 27-year-old Gypsy a thorough health check.
Nicely down, isn't he now?
The chimpanzee has been anaesthetised, and to keep the procedure as short as possible, a temporary examination room has been set up, along with portable X-ray and ultrasound equipment.
His saturation is high 80s at the moment. His heart rate's 75, so that's okay.
Gypsy has been suffering from a persistent cough and has been losing condition. A recent test for COVID came back negative, but the team were concerned enough to ask Nick to examine him. The first thing he does is take blood samples, which will be sent to a laboratory for analysis.
That sample, lovely, thank you. Just gonna have a little good listen to his chest. Okay, all sounds okay. I think let's try and get these X-rays, shall we?
A chest X-ray may shed some light on what's causing Gypsy's cough and poor condition, both worrying symptoms.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to lift him on. That's it, good, well done.
Taking an X-ray in cramped conditions isn't straightforward.
Is this table gonna be strong enough for me to stand on it? It should be, shouldn't it? Let's try it, let's try it. If I was to stand and hold, yeah, that'll work, wouldn't it? Let's do that.
It's a bit of a balancing act, but Nick and vet nurse Saffron managed to take a number of X-rays of Gypsy's chest.
Okay, let's try that. Yeah, happy?
That's a chest.
That's a chest. That is concerning. No, that doesn't look very nice at all, does it? Okay.
The results are worrying.
We should have a nice cardiac silhouette here, but instead we've got this very mottled appearance. It's not normal, and I worry that he's got either some sort of pneumonia or masses in his chest.
An ultrasound may provide more information.
This is not normal. No. It's definitely not normal, and it's not gut. It's either liver or spleen.
It's not the kind of news the primate care team were hoping for.
Is that something that could be corrected surgically?
Not sure. It looks like a sort of grossly abnormal organ to me.
Right.
Certainly not. He's eating all right, is he?
On the stuff he likes, he will eat a lot of, and he does get a lot of extras as well, like peanut butter porridge,
Yep.
plenty of fruit, but yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I think we're probably running out of things to do here. No free fluid around the lungs. Liver, diaphragm all displaced very high. Liver architecture actually looks normal. Spleen, that looks grossly abnormal to me. And I would worry about some sort of growth or changes there. Okay, I think we're probably going to stop there because we've probably learnt as much as we can.
There's nothing more Nick can do at this stage. The team carefully move Gypsy into a nearby bedroom to recover from the anaesthetic. As they wait anxiously for him to come round, Nick gives the team a summary of what he's found.
His whole thorax is quite small. His abdominal organs are all sort of pushing right up into the diaphragm. It might be normal chimp anatomy, but it's not sort of familiar to me.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's got a big spleen. I'm a bit worried about that. So we'll get the blood results. But I think there's something fairly serious going on, I'm afraid. Something systemic.
Then, as Gypsy begins to wake up, he starts to display difficulty breathing.
Gagging on your tongue, aren't you, silly boy?
There's only one way to clear his airway, but going into a confined space with an adult chimp is dangerous, particularly if Gypsy should recover.
Bring me some gloves, please. That'll do, yeah, one of those.
With the chimp's condition deteriorating fast, Jeremy and Nick have no option if they're going to save him.
Very careful what he's going to do. Good boy, good boy.
Gypsy has swallowed his tongue. Nick attempts to free it while Jeremy keeps watch.
Come on, bring it down. Okay, can actually move air now.
Success. Gypsy's airway is freed and he can start to breathe normally. After a few minutes, he begins to come round.
Why is nothing ever simple with you? Eh?
The team will keep a very close eye on the chimp's recovery while they wait for Nick to check the x-rays and ultrasound in more detail. But they'll need to wait for the blood test results to come back before any decisions are made about Gypsy's future. Next time on Monkey Life. A health check for newly rescued Tamarin, Red, raises cause for concern.
There's been some sort of traumatic incident that's just slightly dislocated her knee.
And a sticky treat of porridge and cranberries for the chimps. Today on Monkey Life. A health check for newly rescued Tamarin, Red, raises cause for concern.
There's been some sort of traumatic incident that's just slightly dislocated her knee.
Newcomer Capuchin Matty squares up to dominant male Erico when the group of 14 come together for the first time.
It is fairly tense, I'm not going to lie. Matty is definitely focused on Erico.
And a sticky treat of porridge and cranberries for the chimps. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Hi! Look at that. Oh, he's fantastic.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 25 different species. It's been just over a week since Alison took in a red-bellied tamarin, abandoned by its owner and rescued by the RSPCA. The small primate is the only one of its kind at the park. The team have named her Red, and she's settling in well to her new life at Monkey World.
Her personality has really been shining through. I think she was just really lonely because whenever we come over to give her attention or to give her some food, she's straight over. She loves a chat, and she's not doing it in sort of a worried way or a concerned way at all. She just comes over and starts chatting to you because I think she's so starved for company. And yeah, she's just a pretty confident little lady. She loves her insects, absolutely loves them, particularly crickets. When I first brought one of those out to show her, she was so excited. But yeah, she's a really nice, chilled out little girl and very, very sociable character.
Red had been abandoned in a cage at a rented flat in Wales. The RSPCA, called in by the property's landlord, contacted Alison for help. The Tamarin didn't have a good diet, little water, and had a swollen stomach. When she arrived at the park, the care team noticed her feces contained large amounts of sawdust and she was continuously drinking, which raised alarm bells.
She does still drink a little bit more than everybody else does on average, but that can also be a learned behaviour out of boredom and hopefully not a diet thing, because now that she's getting the proper diet, the drinking has become much more stable. Her stomach looks a lot less sort of hard and bloated now. So I think it's mostly, touch wood, sorted itself out.
But before any further decisions are made about Red's future, she needs a health check. Local vet Dave Harding has arrived to carry out Red's medical examination. If she gets the all clear, the team will start thinking about where she can be housed and finding her some company. Vital for all primates. Red is put under with gas, using a specially constructed anaesthetic box for small primates. Dave examines her abdomen, looking for any signs of bloating.
It feels okay. I mean, it feels like there's a fair bit of food in there, but it's not. It's nothing terribly hard or worrying.
A relief for the team. Next, he checks her teeth.
Just looks like there's a slight chip on the right canine.
The Tamarin's molars are worn down and stained, a sign of her age. She isn't a youngster. Dave examines her back legs and has concerns.
That left seems to extend quite nicely and the right seems to get so far, and then I wonder what the position of that patella is actually, because it does look abnormal. Right, should we get some x-rays next then? Okay.
The pictures should help Dave understand what's causing the mobility issue with Red's right leg.
Okay. That's interesting. Now, the X-rays show that she's, at some stage we suspect that there's been some sort of traumatic incident that's just slightly dislocated her knee, so it can't extend properly. So everything is now set in that position, so short of sort of major reconstructive surgery, which is not terribly practical, it might be something she has to live with. So it may be that giving her painkillers might just help her use that leg a bit more. We'll just have to see, really.
It's worrying for her future healthcare, but something the team can probably manage with medication and by adapting the branching in Red's living areas to make it easier for her to move around. The Tamarin is returned to the house to recover. When the blood results come back, the care team can begin to plan the next stage of Red's future and consider who might make a suitable companion. At the Capuchin Lodge, the team have been forging ahead with introductions for newcomers Matty and Louis. The pair have now met everyone, either individually or in small groups, and also experienced the entire house and both outside enclosures. Female Louis has fitted in well and her overall condition is improving. But Matty's introductions have been more complex. His meetings with leader Erico resulted in a few scuffles and minor injuries, as both males attempted to exert their authority. As a result, the troop has been separated into smaller subgroups. But today, that's all about to change.
So today we've actually decided just to open the doors now between the males and the females. Matty has also met all of the females, so he is fine with them. It's just really how the females are going to react in terms of having Erico and Matty there together. Are they going to side with one or the other? Is it going to change the dynamics of the group, which it probably will. And that's just something that we need to play out. But until we do that, we don't know how it's going to go. But we decided to bite the bullet and just go for it today.
Because she's unsure how the group will react, Donna's giving them plenty of space.
We're just going to do the introduction with the house and the cage enclosure, so obviously we can have a couple of people in and a couple of people out. And then hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll be able to open up the forest enclosure just to give them a bit more space so that they're not as tense, and then they can just mingle with each other as and when they choose to. We're not forcing them all together.
Everything is ready and the capuchins are lining up.
Everybody seems very keen to see everyone else.
With so many slides and entrances, keeping an eye on all 14 capuchins inside and out will be a challenge. But the team are prepared for all eventualities. The group emerge, heading in various directions. The significance of the day has eluded some of the females, including Zoe, who's happy in the playroom, foraging amongst the wood wool for food. Louis is content in their company. Matty, however, has opted for the outside caged enclosure where, within minutes, a bit of jostling for position begins. Marlo and best buddy Abby face off with Matty, and dominant female Phoenix enters the fray to try and act as peacemaker. Some of the low rankers wisely keep out of the way, as dominant male Erico and his sidekick Sean stick close together, unsure what to do.
It is fairly tense, I'm not going to lie. Matty is definitely focused on Erico, so we just need him to chill out a little bit, really, and for things to calm down.
As the morning progresses, there's a lot of coming and going. If Matty goes inside, Erico heads outside. But it seems Matty may have had a scuffle with someone and come off worse. He's sporting a minor graze above his left eye.
Matty was certainly trying to rally round all of the females against Erico and Sean. He didn't really follow through with it, so I think he really was just making a point. We're still very early days, things have settled a lot, so we just need to see how it plays out in time.
Donna decides against giving all the capuchins access to the larger forest enclosure for now.
I think as it stands at the moment, we don't really feel comfortable that nobody's going to go out there and sit out there or be chased, or I think we're just going to stick where we are for now, and then in time, once they're a little bit more settled and everyone's happily moving around each other, then we'll consider giving them the extra space.
It's only been 6 weeks since Matty and Louis arrived at the park, and they've already made remarkable progress. If the group settle down well overnight, Donna and the team may try again tomorrow. At the Stumpy enclosure, life is generally pretty harmonious, albeit grumpy for the 7 so-called ugly monkeys who make up the group. They enjoy being outside and making the most of the warm weather. A bounty of fresh food, courtesy of the primate care team, goes down well too. But it's been a turbulent few weeks for the group and their carers, following the sudden, unexpected loss of female Stumpy Charlie.
Everybody loved Charlie. She was just a generally, as far as Stumpies go, she was quite nice. She wasn't really horrible to anyone. Yeah, so it sort of changed the dynamics a bit, losing her.
And now there are worries about Sam too.
His mobility has got worse and worse. His spine has become more hunched, and sort of his back curved, and climbing and moving around isn't so easy. He's had sort of ongoing issues with coughing and things, so often we'll come in and we'll find he's very sleepy in the mornings or the evenings. He's just generally slowing down. Obviously, we're just having a very close eye on him, and I think sort of sadly we're sort of starting to come in towards the end of sort of Sam's time.
Sam has done well to reach the grand age of 34. He's the only survivor of 19 stump-tailed macaques rescued by Alison from a British laboratory 22 years ago. The Stumpies were being used for asthma research. When they arrived at the park, they were an obese bunch with poor mobility and social skills. But Monkey World gave them a fresh start, with access to the outdoors and a proper diet. Their numbers have dwindled over the years due to old age and their former life caged in the laboratory. where medical experiments took their toll, leaving Sam the last one standing.
He's been in charge of the group for over 10 years, really. He was in charge of the male group before the females arrived, and then sort of he came down and took straight over that group. So from when they arrived, the girls have had Sam as their boss. Yeah, all the girls love Sam. He's such a nice, dominant male, and sort of they do respect him and sort of spend their time with him.
Given his age, it's surprising neither of the two younger males, Freddie and Toto, have staged a coup to take over the group. Toto is an impressive-looking male, but can't master Stumpy etiquette. Freddie is more socially aware, but shows no signs of wanting to be the dominant male, yet.
It's been a surprise that neither of them have ever actually challenged Sam, but I think a lot of that is possibly to do with the respect and backing that Sam has had from the females. They do like Sam, they respect Sam, and those two boys have got to prove their worth and work their way up the hierarchy. It is a very strict hierarchy, the Stumpies, and change is very, very rare. It takes quite a lot for someone to move up or down the group.
But it's now an elderly group, with Sylvie, at 23, the youngest. Most have mobility issues of one kind or another. Dominant female Kelly has always maintained her close relationship with Sam, but she also got on really well with Charlie. Her loss has resulted in Kelly becoming slightly withdrawn and quiet. Sadly, Sam's health deteriorated further in the following days, and the primate care team had to make the difficult but important decision to put him to sleep. It was another huge blow for the team and the Stumpy group. The passing of the wise old man of the troop will leave a big hole and change the group dynamic forever.
What we hope will happen is that Freddie and Toto will just step up, sort out their hierarchy and run the group as sort of one and two, a bit like Sam and Jonathan did, really. And that the girls will just sort of fall into line, and that we can have a harmonious Stumpy group for sort of the upcoming future. And yeah, that the girls and the two boys can sort of live happily together.
The primate care teams love to mix things up to keep their charges engaged and busy. This morning it's the turn of the only troop of spider monkeys at the park. Donna is putting out an enrichment of bamboo and plantain, a fruit the three spider monkeys have never tried before. Plantain contains more starch and less sugar than ordinary bananas, which the group are used to. It may give their leader Pumpkin food for thought.
It's quite difficult with the hierarchy in terms of making sure that everybody really gets their fair share of the food. Pumpkin is larger than the two boys. Because she is so dominant, she gets a higher portion of the food than they do, which is a natural thing. It's very difficult for us to really limit that other than separating them every single time that we feed them, which just isn't practical. So we monitor their feeding, and we do have to supplement Hickory and Flint a little bit, just to make sure that they are hitting their calories target throughout the day.
The plantain is being skewered on the bamboo, which has been distributed all around the enclosure. The troop will have to work to tear it open and free it from the thick canes.
Go spiders!
Unsurprisingly, it's Pumpkin who leads the trio out. She's always first in the queue for food. She's followed by Flint, and, bringing up the rear, the old man of the group, Hickory, who isn't as food-orientated as the other two. They're keen to discover what's different today, but not quite sure what to make of it. Flint is more interested in the fresh green bamboo leaves than the large plantain threaded through the canes. Spider monkeys are perfectly adapted for climbing, with disproportionately long legs and arms. Their long prehensile tails are highly effective anchors at height and allow them to feed underneath the tree canopy. Pumpkin demonstrates her balancing skills as she tries to reach a plantain deep in the bamboo, eventually managing to prise it free. Although the outer skin of the fruit is tough, the spider monkey's sharp teeth and powerful jaws enable them to rip it open. Hickory has stayed on the ground while his more active housemates feed enthusiastically above him. He can't believe his luck when a plantain drops and lands right in front of him. An unexpected bonus at no effort. The spider monkeys are all trying the plantain, but there's none of the excited chatter Donna was hoping for.
I think they thought it was going to be something more exciting like actual banana. I mean, it's certainly keeping them busy, and they are eating it. They're just not that excited about it.
Interest wanes in favour of the view from the tunnel, where they can relax and sunbathe. It's a glorious day, and at Hanania's chimp enclosure, the group are outside making the most of the sunshine. There are 18 members in this troop, and they've evolved into a close-knit, happy and healthy bunch. While the chimps are enjoying themselves outside, inside, primate care team member Jess is busy cooking up a warming treat. The park has been given a large donation of cranberries, and Jess is heating them up in fruit squash before adding the mixture to some hot porridge oats.
We could give it out to them as hot juice, which they do really enjoy, but adding oats and putting them in a Kong, it's just more enriching for them because it takes them longer to solve the puzzle, and especially during the colder months, we like to give them warm juice, warm enrichment. It just helps prevent colds and keeps them warm and healthy.
With some of the troop looking on in anticipation, Jess stuffs the hot, mushy concoction into dog toys, known as Kongs. It'll give the chimps something to think about and slow them down a little. And there's plenty to go round.
When we give out enrichment, we need to make sure that there's enough for everyone, to make sure that it's fair, we don't cause any disagreements. So here we've got enough for 3 each. I wish I could say that it would be that easy, that they'd all know how much to take, but that at least means that if you have a high ranker like Johnny or Hanania who take more than their share, there should be enough for then our lower rankers to have some as well. But I've also left some cranberries loose, so we'll throw them out as a scatter at the same time, so that if anyone does miss out on a Kong, which hopefully they won't, there's still something for them to enjoy. We're going to hear some excited noises, hopefully.
She's not wrong. Cranberries are a great source of vitamins and antioxidants, which will help boost the chimp's immunity, useful at this chilly time of year. But Hanania and his chums are simply anticipating something delicious is heading their way.
It's so nice to hear them like this. It's great because they're not too excited, it's just that right level, which is why enrichment's so amazing for them. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting the Kongs to them and seeing how they react. Some of them might not like cranberries, so we'll have to see if the excitement's worth it. Are you ready, everyone? Here you go!
Jess starts with a scatter feed to split the group up. Then the Kongs are thrown in from 2 different towers to give everyone a chance of securing at least one.
Oh, Trudy!
It's a mad scramble for the much sought-after Kongs, especially by the more dominant chimps. Hanania's second-in-command, Simon, is quick off the mark to bag 2. But Cherry is happy to hoover up any loose cranberries she can find. The chimps are used to Kongs, including porridge-filled ones. But today's extra ingredient promises to be one sticky mess.
Cookie?
Johnny is determined to nab as many as she can.
Oh, Johnny, he's stealing everything. Cherry! We love Johnny, but yeah, she does throw her weight around a bit. She is our dominant female, so if she can get our hands on the good stuff, she will. But that's also why we've got this scatter of cranberries, so that if she does steal off individuals, they can still, get some nice treats as well. Patricia is a good individual as well. You'll see her wandering around with more than she can carry, really, which is always quite entertaining to watch. Has everyone got one? Good.
The chimps quietened down as they tuck into the porridge-filled kongs. Clever Marjolaine uses a stick as a utensil to scoop out the food inside. Chimps in the wild are known for demonstrating similar behaviour. It helps reach the food fingers can't. Cherry has a more basic technique. Trudy and Arthur forage in the grass for the cranberry scatter feed, while Hananya uses his position as leader to help himself to one of Cherry's from right under her nose. The group makes short work of the porridge-filled kongs, and after all the excitement, it's good to find a nice warm spot to snuggle down in the sunshine. Next time on Monkey Life. Paulo protests during a woolly weigh-in.
He does get frustrated quite quickly when things don't always go his way.
And the Capuchins box clever when it comes to tracking down treats. Today on Monkey Life, Paulo protests during a woolly weigh-in.
He does get frustrated quite quickly when things don't always go his way.
A new fruity experience for the Siamangs.
So Zach, wanna try this? See what you think.
And the Capuchins box clever when it comes to tracking down treats. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
You just never know how it's going to work.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 25 different species. It's a busy day at the Bachelor Woolly Monkey House. The 6 boys in the all-male group are about to be individually weighed. That's if they'll cooperate.
Honey, come on. Honey.
The care team need each one to sit solo on the scales so they can get an accurate weight and take a good close-up look for any health issues.
Honey, Alice. Good boy. Oh, good lad.
First up is 7-year-old Carlos. He's persuaded to sit still on the scales by the offer of a high-value food reward.
Stand off. Good boy. 8.46. Good boy.
The care team record the weight of each troop member, then let them out into their large caged enclosure.
Boy. One down. Come on, Annie. You coming in, Lemmy? Oh, good boy.
Next up is Lemmy.
Good boy. Come down here. Good boy.
The team have been monitoring his weight very closely. He's 3.5 years old, but compared to other males his age, he's small and underdeveloped.
We've done a few different medical tests just to see why he's not really growing, and so we are keeping a very close eye on him, so we do weigh him more often. But keeping an eye on their weights, also helps us if they've got to have any sedations or anything. We know the correct amount of medication to administer based on their weight. 2.58. Yep, 2.58. Good boy.
Lemmy hasn't managed to put on any weight, a cause for concern.
Coming, Lemmy. Oh, good boy.
The team will continue to keep an extra close eye on him.
Good Okay, Manny. Hey, Manny. Boy, are you gonna come
Next to take their place on the scales are the big boys, starting with Manny. He weighs in at just under 10 kilograms.
Good boy. Stay there.
Dominant male of the group, Paulo, is less cooperative.
Wait, you can come here. So being a dominant male, he does get frustrated quite quickly when things don't always go his way. So he would like to scent mark this to tell him it's his territory, and then get all of the grapes. 9.06. Okay.
The largest of the bachelors is Claude, who tops the scales at just over 10 kilograms.
10.26. Good boy.
With 5 of the group outside enjoying the space and tucking into breakfast, last to take to the scales is Cassius.
All the way on. You can do it. Come here. Good boy.
He's a nervy character and can be intimidated by the bigger, more boisterous and brash males like Paulo.
Well done. 790. Good boy. For him, you know, there's no one else around, you know, no one else is coming behind him, everyone's gone, he knows he's last, so, you know, he doesn't have to worry about everything, you know, he doesn't have to go, oh, someone might be coming, or, you know, will they be coming back in? You know, we try and make it as positive for them as possible, and, you know, we wouldn't be giving him things here, and then Paulo wouldn't be coming charging back in, and that, you know, he wouldn't sit here nicely because he knows Paulo's higher up the hierarchy. So he is very lucky coming in last because he'll get all of the treats, and he's so good at it.
And to make sure Cassius can enter the enclosure without feeling intimidated, the team keep Paulo occupied at the same time.
Yeah, so because Paulo's dominant male and he can get a little bit grabby and, you know, just a bit intimidating for the other boys, we want it to be positive for when they leave after doing a training session or a weighing session. So Paulo does know how to station, so we'll keep him stationed, and that's just so we know that we've kind of got a little bit of control over him, that he's going to sit here nicely, and we're going to reward him for sitting there nicely, just so we can let the other individuals out that are lower in the hierarchy than him. Just because if we were to let them out and he has a go at them because they've got some treats, and then they might not do it for us next time, we'll be a bit more hesitant. So it just makes it nice for everyone and less stressful. Doesn't it, Paulo? Is everything funny now? Oh, everything's funny now. So you can see he goes from being quite a playing type monkey to everything's quite funny, and we're going to have a laugh, everyone, aren't we?
Weigh-in complete, the bachelor group can relax in their wonderful outdoor enclosure. In the colder, wetter months, enticing the primates outside and away from their warm houses can be challenging. But on a glorious autumn morning, when the sun is shining, it's a different story. Siamang gibbons Sam and Sasak are making the most of the good weather. Sam is foraging for the last remaining green autumn leaves, while Sasak is nibbling some fresh grass. The pair have been together for 10 years and are inseparable. When they're not grooming or eating, they can often be found relaxing together in their spectacular tree-filled enclosure. But today, Primate Care Team member Kat has something new and unusual for the Siamangs.
Sam! Sam! Come here!
A fruit they've never tasted before.
So this morning we've had a bit of a donation of a rather unusual fruit. This is called a medlar fruit. Now I've not actually tasted it myself, but we're just going to have a little bit of an experiment to see whether the Siamangs like them. It's something we haven't had before, so it'll either be a hit or a miss. We'll just have to wait and see.
Rather than throwing the food in, Kat tries calling the pair over to see what they make of the unusual fruits.
Sasak, want to try this? Want to try this? See what you think. That's it, sit with your back to the camera. Well, she's not shy, she's piling it in there, she's not hesitating at all, so whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. Sasak really enjoys her food, so it doesn't really matter what it is, she'll eat it. Sam's a little bit more discerning with his taste, so we'll see what he thinks in a minute.
The medlars are a great source of fibre and nutrients. Sasak's tucking in with relish, but Sam is too busy foraging.
Sam, come here, buddy.
Sasak made short work of that.
Want another one? Is that a hit?
Sam can be wary of new things and heads back towards the house, but Cat keeps trying.
Sam! Come and try these.
Eventually, his curiosity gets the better of him.
Shall I give you a little one there and see what you think? Up there, dude. Oh, just throw it at my head. There it is.
Sam seems quite partial too, but doesn't even get a chance to share his.
We have to be really careful with, especially with the high-calorie foods and the really sugary stuff with her. Sasak is slightly overweight. I say slightly, it's quite a bit overweight. So we do have to try and keep that weight down on her. But Sam's a bit more of a slow eater, let's say. He's very more refined and just gentle with everything that he eats. Sasak just shoves it in and gets as much as she can all the time. Most of the time, Sam will kind of, you know, hold on to it, but occasionally she will win and she'll snatch it out of his hand.
The primate care staff are careful to distribute high-value foods, such as fruit, so everyone gets their fair share. This new offering has definitely won approval.
Both of them are tucking in really well to them, really enjoying them, so you know, it's something that we can maybe, it does actually grow in this country, so it's something we could maybe get some trees of and get them growing in the park for next summer maybe. Maybe take a few years for them to fruit, but we'll see.
Treat time over, it's back to the trees to enjoy the day in the lovely autumn sunshine. It's all change over at the Stumpy House, with the group in turmoil as the males vie for top position. The battle in the rankings has come about after a number of elderly Stumpies passed away. First was female Charlie. Then, ageing and respected leader Sam had to be put to sleep. The primate care team were prepared for the next loss, that of elderly female Flo. They'd been expecting it and did all they could to make her last days as comfortable as possible. But it was still a huge blow.
You spend so much time with these guys, you get really attached to them, and it is very hard, but when you've been working with them long enough, you know the signs, you know the cues, and in my experience with the Stumpies, once they start to show the symptoms, quite often you know that there's something seriously wrong. They will mask it, they will cover it up, and when you do start to see the symptoms and the problems, quite often there is something more serious underlying sort of going on with these guys.
There's now a void at the top, and younger males Toto and Freddie are competing to step up. Previously, Toto, short on Stumpy etiquette, but scoring points on looks, kept out of everyone's way. Now he's strutting his stuff, displaying on bridges and walkways to demonstrate to the other four just how big and strong he is. He's developed a swagger and is looking far more confident. If it's brawn and good looks the females want, then Toto could become top man. His rival, the only other male in the group, is Freddie. They've been best friends since they arrived together at the park 7 years ago. But Freddie has always had the upper hand. He certainly has the edge when it comes to alliances with the girls, and he understands Stumpy's social behaviour. Everything needed to be the dominant male. He already has Noreen's support, while the youngest in the group, Sylvie, is biding her time before she picks sides. Poor old Kelly, still struggling to come to terms with the loss of Sam, is showing little interest.
Yeah, this has all been a bit of an unforeseen nightmare, these Stumpies. They're a bunch of old men and ladies. We were hoping that once it all settled down, that the boys would establish their hierarchy and the 5 of them could live very happily, comfortably, just being Stumpies and pottering around and doing things at slow pace. We just need them to sort of settle down. We need the boys to sort out their hierarchy. Toto really to understand his place, really. That's the biggest issue. He just doesn't understand the social skills and the social etiquette. And Freddie gets very frustrated and annoyed with that, and then he takes it out on either Toto or he takes it out on the girls.
The care team hope Freddie and Toto will soon decide who's going to be the boss, and the Stumpies can settle down and become a harmonious group again. The change in seasons brings different and exciting forms of enrichment for the primates. At the Saki monkey house, devoted couple Desmond and Chloe are about to be given a seasonal treat. But there's a third resident at their house who'll be eager to secure a share.
We've also got Loki the marmoset. So it's one of the only mixed species groups that we've got here. The reason that Loki is living with the Saki monkeys is essentially he's a marmoset with an asbo when it comes to other marmosets. He just doesn't understand marmoset language. He doesn't know how to interact with them. He's somebody that we have tried on and off again over the years many times to accept the company of another marmoset. And every time his instinct is to just attack.
Loki was a victim of the UK pet trade and spent his early life on his own. He became very human-focused and so lacks the necessary skills and social etiquette to live with others of his own kind. His failure to find friends at the park has resulted in him becoming housemate to Desmond and Chloe.
It's worked out really well because it's given him some sort of social interaction. And it's also good for the Sakis because they're a little old couple and it's nice to vary up their environment and give them something else in their environment to look at and to interact with.
Today, the trio are getting some seasonal pumpkins, full of seeds and with plenty of juicy flesh. Steph has also cut holes in some to add an extra treat: live mealworms.
So it's really important to change the environment for these guys. You want to keep things interesting. You want to constantly keep the primates' brains active as well as their bodies. They've got something new to think about, something new to interact with. So something like this is great because it just changes up that environment and gives them something to engage with.
Marmoset Loki sprints out. The large orange pumpkin is bigger than he is. But there are smaller options. He's a common marmoset, highly active and always on the move. A ready-cut pumpkin is his first choice. Eventually, Desmond makes an appearance, grabs a handful of seeds, and heads back to find Chloe. Loki's already on the hunt for more. He demonstrates great agility and strength, abseiling down to a smaller hanging pumpkin to try and pick out the seeds. Desmond has persuaded Chloe to venture out, but she's in no rush. She's thought to be the oldest captive Saki monkey in Europe.
Chloe is a really old lady now. She's a very old girl. We think she might be going just a little senile in her old age. She gets a bit confused at times. So it's important that we keep a really close eye on her, make sure she's okay, make sure there's lots of stuff that she can be thinking about and engaging with so she doesn't spend too much time just sort of sitting and gazing into the distance. But the two of them are really, really sweet together. You see lots of grooming, lots of sitting up close and cuddling. Just a really sweet old couple.
The devoted pair lose interest in the pumpkins and head off together. But Loki isn't finished. The wriggly mealworms have grabbed his attention, and for now, he's got them all to himself. Autumn has well and truly arrived at the park. And the change in the season has presented a golden opportunity for the primate care team. They're taking full advantage, giving one lucky group of primates a fun and rewarding morning.
We're basically filling up lots of boxes with leaves. We're going to put some bugs and things for them to forage in there, and basically creating big foraging areas in the enclosure for the capuchins. So it should be really exciting. They obviously see leaves a lot, but not to this scale with big piles of leaves. So yeah, it should be nice for them.
The lucky recipients are Erico's group, made up of 13 individuals, each with very different personalities. They've had a turbulent few months, having sadly lost a couple of members, but also welcoming two newcomers, Matty and Louie. The introductions proved to be tricky, with male Matty challenging Erico's position as alpha male. In recent weeks, order has been restored, and the group has settled down again.
Erico's kind of got his confidence up a little bit now. He's taken the dominant position back in the group. He's definitely acting more like a dominant male. And Matty seems to have realised this and kind of taken a step back.
The team have gathered together a number of cardboard boxes, varying in size. They've filled them with leaves. And, just to make life extra challenging for the capuchins, their breakfast of mealworms is hidden amongst the foliage. The boxes have been stacked up and placed all around their large natural enclosure, along with extra piles of leaves, just to make life a little more fun.
They're really intelligent animals, really good foragers. So yeah, they will be able to get into the boxes. They figure things out really quickly. And yeah, they all kind of have like their own little personalities and their own techniques for doing enrichment and things. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Leader Erico is first out. He's a bright and confident capuchin and wastes no time diving into the boxes and foraging through the leaves. Second in command Sean is particular about his choice. Once he has the box he wants, he has no problem getting inside to hunt through the contents. The high rankers in Capuchin society always get first crack at any enrichment on offer. Dominant female Phoenix has unwrapped her parcel and jumped right in. Low ranker Ringo bravely tackles a box attached to one of the high hoses, before being moved on by Zoe, who's further up the pecking order and a lot younger. No such problem for one of the newest members of the group, Louie. Her nimble fingers easily negotiate one of the smaller boxes, and she's rewarded with a handful of mealworms. Capuchins live in large groups, but not as a constant, unified entity. It's a fission-fusion society. They tend to have their own subgroups and friendships. Today, there's so much to explore and investigate, they're all busy foraging as individuals, with varying results. Once all the boxes have been opened, the leaves can be recycled again and again.
Essentially, all these leaf piles will just turn into foraging pits, and we can keep coming back and hiding their food in there over the next few days. So yeah, we've got some really nice weather. The leaves are really nice and crisp and dry. So yeah, it's like perfect autumn weather, and so it's nice to be able to take advantage of it.
Some of the group have chosen to stay inside, but the care team have made sure no one misses out. The indoor playroom has also been filled with boxes and leaves, giving everyone, including newcomer Matty, the chance to get their share. It's been a good morning for the whole group, and the boxes and leaf piles will encourage plenty of natural foraging and fun throughout the day. Next time on Monkey Life. A major storm pummels the park, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. And a tough decision for Alison.
I've had to close the park, and we're going to have a lot of repairs to some of the enclosures.
And friction at the Stumpy House as Toto and Freddie fight for the top spot. Today on Monkey Life, a major storm pummels the park, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake and a tough decision for Alison.
I've had to close the park, and we're gonna have a lot of repairs to some of the enclosures.
The maintenance teams are kept at full stretch outside, with the majority of primate residents forced to stay inside.
We're now trying to rely on enrichment to try and keep them as busy as possible and make sure that nobody falls out while they're having to be shut in.
And friction at the Stumpie House as Toto and Freddie fight for the top spot. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
I can't keep her in, get her in. Okay, got it.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 25 different species. The south of the UK has been battered by a severe storm, which wreaked havoc over the weekend. Luckily, weather warnings were issued in advance, advising of strong winds with the potential for major damage to trees and buildings. Alison took the only option available.
I closed the park for the day of the storm, and it's a good thing I did because, you know, we've had a lot of damage here to the park, and so I've had to close the park for a further 2 days in order just to try and get things under control in terms of making trees that have come down safe. And we're going to have a lot of repairs to some of the enclosures.
Parts of the park took a major hit, with trees down and enclosures badly damaged, leaving the maintenance team at full stretch.
So what we're going to do next, we're just going to make this safe and try and hopefully get the majority of the overhang saved. Yes, we'll try and keep some of the trees, but we're going to have to leave them on the deck, I'm afraid. Then the next one is to go into the forest gibbons there and make them too safe for the keepers. And then we should be fine then.
Worst affected was the Capuchin lodge. Head of maintenance George has called in the tree surgeons to clear the debris, so we can get a better idea of the damage to surrounding fences and overhangs in the outside enclosures.
Basically, after the high winds we had over the weekend, we're checking all the overhangs. We've got 4 big trees down, and we're trying to make it safe without doing as much damage to the existing overhang as possible.
Hundreds of trees in and around the park will need to be safety checked before the primates can be let out, and the public let in.
Obviously, we've got to look at each base of each tree, watch how it moves in the ground, watch the ground movement around it, check there's no water damage around the tree as well, funny enough. I mean, most of these trees don't have deep roots, they're all shallow roots, so they're a tall point where the wind catches it and they all go. And of course, we tie all the trees together to let the animals move around, so one way or another, it helps us.
While the storm raged, the park's primates were kept safely indoors. But that's a challenge in itself.
Keeping them locked inside is very hard on all of the monkeys and apes, but also on the keepers, because then they're motivated to try and come up with activities to keep them busy and engaged so that they don't start turning on each other and picking fights or throwing their weight around. So it is tough. Each and every group of primates here in the park has to be kept busy and occupied to keep them healthy and happy while they're locked indoors. But this is part of our obligation to them, and our keepers are superb at it.
With that in mind, Jano is preparing a healthy treat for the orangutans. He's mixing up a warming drink made of honey, lemon, and ginger. It's a winning concoction.
This is good for their, to prevent them from cold and flu, good for their digestion and congestion, and good for their immune system. And on top of that, this drink tastes great. It's amazing.
one of the recipients needs it more than most.
Well, Tuan is going all, so every time when cold weather, his breathing is always heavy. So we manage to keep it sort of steady, but we're never able to get rid of it, of course, because the weather sometimes is mild and then sometimes is worse. So giving him every day's medicine like that is managed to keep him just steady, but never sort of disappear, really.
Tuan's group aren't the only ones getting the healthy drink today.
Hi, guys!
The youngsters at the orangutan nursery are bundles of energy. Keeping them indoors means giving them lots of attention.
Make your breath smell nice as well, guys.
Everyone is keeping a close eye on the forecast, hoping the weather will calm down and allow the maintenance team to get their work done, and the primate residents the opportunity to venture out again. The fallen branches and logs won't go to waste. They'll be used to create natural habitats for climbing and foraging, something all the monkeys and apes enjoy. Staff at the domestic marmoset house are among those having to adapt their routine this morning. The storm caused extensive damage to one of their outdoor enclosures. A large tree branch landed right on top of the structure, which is used as outdoor space for marmoset Ruby and her family.
The enclosure isn't in use anymore and will need a lot of extensive work done to it before it's safe for the primates to be released back out of. So sadly, Ruby's group has to be shut in for now. They're a big group, there's 6 of them, it's our largest marmoset group. And there can be a little bit of tension in the group. That's why we try to give them the biggest enclosure, just to make sure the space helps to dissipate the tension. As we don't have the outside at the minute, we're now trying to rely on enrichment to try and keep them as busy as possible and make sure that nobody falls out while they're having to be shut in.
Keeping this family of 6 occupied until repairs are complete will be a real test. The family's indoor space is a lot smaller and the group has 4 lively youngsters. But Charlie has plenty of tricks up her sleeve. First up, clear tube feeders stuffed with wood shavings and topped off with one of the marmoset's favourite grubs, mealworms. She hangs them high up to test the marmoset's agility and determination.
The idea is that they'll kind of have to pull out the shavings at the bottom in order for the bugs to trickle down so they can feed from them. This group is very food oriented. They do love their mealworms, so hopefully they'll be really interested. The fact that they're also see-through also does help because a lot of the time monkeys can be quite lazy and if they can't see what the prize is, they won't bother doing it, but hopefully they'll see the bugs and they'll figure out what they need to do to get hold of them.
As soon as the slide to the indoor playroom is opened, the troop bound in. This group's mum and dad couldn't be more opposite. Ruby is one of the largest marmosets ever to live at the park, while her partner Oscar is one of the smallest. The pair lived together for years without any babies, but then surprised the primate care staff with their first set of twins, Merry and Pippin. They managed to have another pair, Frodo and Bilbo, before the vets could perform a vasectomy on Oscar. Unlike the majority of the park's marmosets rescued from the pet trade, the 4 youngsters have had a stable upbringing in a close-knit family. But every so often, there's a bit of sibling rivalry.
Actually more from the 2 youngest twins, Frodo and Bilbo, that really tend to try and pick on their older siblings. So we do find that they will have a bit of a scuffle over food and they do pick on Merry and Pippin and kind of push them out the way, which is why we were a little bit concerned with the reduction in space for the group, if that would cause any more problems between the siblings, but so far so good and Frodo and Bilbo have behaved themselves. So we'll just keep them really busy and hopefully they won't pick on their big brother and sister too much.
The mealworms are proving a big hit and a workout. Dad Oscar, however, is far more interested in the marmoset gum Charlie's also put out. It's a really important part of their diet. In the wild, they gouge bark and eat sap exuded from trees. Today's wriggly feast is certainly keeping the family occupied. But until their outside enclosure can be repaired, the primate care team will be kept busy, making sure this family are even busier. Amongst the park's more recent arrivals are Patas monkeys Mr. Patas and Penelope. They were rehomed from a zoo in North Wales 6 months ago, and they're now living at the Stumpie House with their own bedroom and separate outdoor enclosure. Today, with autumn in full swing, the staff are making full use of copious amounts of leaf fall gathered from around the park to give them a treat. It should create an interesting and fun enrichment.
All the primates love having leaves in there because, as well as giving them something different, different textures, different smells, there's also bugs and things in there, and bits and nuts and things, lots for them to forage for. So we actually like to either put them inside and give them a change from sort of straw and wood wool, or sometimes we'll just give them big leaf piles outside because it just encourages natural behaviours from them.
Toby is hiding a few extra titbits in the leaf piles for the pair to find. A mixture of mealworms, waxworms and locusts, along with primate pellets, which form part of their daily diet.
Mr. Patas particularly is completely obsessed with food. He will do anything for food. And he does love foraging in sort of tubs. He loves boxes and things. So if there's food involved, he's definitely going to have a look. Penelope, although she's a bit more nervous around us, is actually the boss of the two of them. So again, if there's food around, she will be there and she'll be probably making sure that she gets priority over him.
The plan should keep the pair busy foraging for most of the day. The slide to the outdoor enclosure is opened and Mr. P is first out, with Penelope not far behind. Mr. P heads straight for the leaf piles now dominating his territory. He confidently forages through the leaves, finding lots of live bugs for breakfast. Penelope hangs back to make sure the leaf piles pose no danger. It doesn't take long before she's convinced and enthusiastically joining in the bug hunt. The staff recently noticed she tends to favour the right side of her mouth when eating. She may have a dental issue which needs examining, but it's not preventing her from getting stuck in today. Unlike many of the park's primates, in the wild, Patas monkeys spend most of their daylight hours on the ground, foraging for food across the savannas of Central Africa. They're the fastest primates on land, reaching speeds of up to 34 miles per hour, which helps them avoid most predators. They're omnivores, meaning their diet changes according to what's available, and includes plants, insects, and occasionally meat. Today's leaf piles have gone down well with the Patas pair.
Mr. Patas is in his element. He's going through it all, getting all the bugs and everything out. He'll be there for hours, I think, finding everything he can to eat. Penelope's a little bit more wary. That seems to be her approach anyway. She has gone down and had a look, and she's also told him off because, as I say, she is the boss of the two of them. But I think he will be there for some time yet.
And the leaf pile is the treat that keeps on giving. It'll naturally attract more grubs and insects, ensuring a continuous supply of food to keep the pair busy foraging in the weeks ahead. Next door at the Stumpie House, there's been 2 months of infighting and friction, caused by the losses of elderly long-time leader Sam and females Charlie and Flo. The result has been chaos, with the 2 remaining males, Toto and Freddie, vying for the top spot. The pair were previously close, with politically aware Freddie looking out for inexperienced Toto. But now, the gloves are off.
They are throwing themselves around, bouncing, displaying, slamming things about. So this has meant that we've had to have a real think about how we set up the house and what we provide for them, because between them over the last couple of months, Freddie and Toto completely destroyed what climbing structure we had in the playroom. All the hosing was pulled loose. So what we've had to do was basically rip out all the playroom and redo the whole thing.
The team have added extra hosing and branching for the more agile, boisterous boys, and provided easier to access escape routes for the less mobile females like Kelly. The destruction of the previously well-established hierarchy has thrown everything up in the air. Not only have Toto and Freddie gone from bottom of the pile to the very top, but the girls' pecking order has been flipped on its head too. Sylvie has established herself as top female, relegating poor old Kelly to the bottom.
It's proved to be far more challenging than we anticipated. The fact that sort of 2 months on, we're still working on what the solution is, trying to get the boys to sort out their hierarchy and the girls to sort of reaffirm theirs.
With the jostling for position leading to scuffles, the team had to act. Not only have they revamped the playroom, they've also separated the two males, although they've made sure they always have the company of a female.
Noreen has always had a bit of a thing for Toto. Even when Sam was around, she'd try and sneak off and spend time with Toto, which generally made Toto nervous because she knew that then Sam would appear on the scene and everyone else. However, she sort of firmly nailed her colours to the Toto mast, which actually is a bit of a political mistake in the group, because what has turned out is happening is that Sylvie has gone right from the bottom to the top because she was the one that spent the time with Freddie. She hangs out with Freddie, and now Freddie doesn't like to let Sylvie out of his sight. So now that she's dominant and can go wherever she wants, she's sort of certainly giving us and everyone else a bit of a runaround.
Today, Freddie is indoors foraging amongst the leaf piles provided by the primate care team. He's accompanied by Sylvie, which always makes him more relaxed. Meanwhile, Toto is outside with Noreen. It means peace reigns, but the plan is to get everyone back together as one harmonious group.
Unfortunately, like a lot of the primates here at the park, Toto's background means he doesn't understand how to behave, and then he reacts in a negative way, even though he doesn't mean to, and this impacts everyone else in the group. So it's going to be a slow process, it's going to take time. We're hoping that eventually we will get back to a stage where we can have all 5 of them together, foraging in the house together and moving in and out comfortably, and everyone's getting on.
Only time will tell which male will win out, clever Freddie or handsome but inept Toto. At the far end of the park, the gardening team have been busy. For the last 4 months, they've been growing their own pumpkins, and some are ready to pick. The lucky recipients today are the park's Gwenon family. Primate care member Elle is placing the orange fruit around their enclosure and adding an extra element to grab their attention.
Because these guys are so active, it's really important that we keep on giving them fresh activities and new enrichment to have a go at. So something like this, which they've never seen before, will be interesting for them, but also interesting for us, just to gauge what they are going to interact with the most. We've kept all the seeds, we've kept all the guts, we've kept all the gory bits. We are going to sprinkle some mealworms in there just to give them a little bit of extra activity, so they've actually got to go in there and forage for them. But it's going to be so cool because they've not really had anything like this before.
The Gwenon family of 4 are very active and love something new.
We haven't made it really easy. I'm just thinking this is going to be a good challenge for their little fingers. They absolutely love mealworms. They're a really good source of protein for these guys. And also because the mealworms are extra wriggly, it's going to be amazing when they go in all the gooey bits in here for them to get out.
Time to discover what the group will make of their fun-filled, fruity breakfast. Biff is first out, followed by Mum Nia and Sister Nala, with Dad Benny bringing up the rear. The bright orange pumpkins are hard to miss, and they're drawn straight to them. Biff is a confident youngster, but even she's a little wary of the large fruit at first. Dad Benny isn't sure what to make of them either. But it doesn't take long for Biff to overcome her reticence and start to fully examine the pumpkins. Straight away, she finds the seeds. Little Sister Nala is by her side, watching and learning. Encouraged, she reaches for some seeds too, albeit at arm's length. The pair decide they like what's inside the pumpkins, and soon both sisters are attacking with gusto. Their parents seem happy to take a back seat, content to watch their highly active daughters get stuck in. They've had a safe and secure upbringing, unlike Mum and Dad, who were stolen from the wild in Benin and sold on the black market before being rescued and eventually ending up at Monkey World. They're now parents to 2 girls and very protective of their daughters. But they needn't worry too much. The 2 youngsters are already adept at dealing with the pumpkins, and now they've discovered the addition inside: mealworms. Plunging a hand in to try and grab the wriggly grubs does work, but crafty Biff has come up with a quicker method. Rolling the pumpkin makes the mealworms fall out onto the platform, ready to be picked up. And it's a lot more fun. The girls are full of energy and mischief. Once they've had their fill of seeds and grubs, it's time for a full-on play session in the trees. It might be heart-stopping to watch, but their skills could soon be challenged even further. Next time on Monkey Life. Worries for woolly monkey Oriana.
So it looks like it's got quite a big left atrium. That's usually suggestive that there is significant heart disease.
And top of the world, the Gwenon family try out a new tree in their enclosure.